It's never been long term. It was year to year to year to year. And then I believe we came to a point where it was 2 years, and we rejoiced. And then something amazing happened about 4 or 5 years ago, where new management at Channel 5 invited me to lunch. Now, when a performer is invited to lunch, it's usually not a good sign. And the implication is that if you're in a large, expensive restaurant, you will not dare cry or throw a temper tantrum when you are fired over the soup. I knew something was up. And the new program director or general manager, I can't remember exactly what his official title was, said, "I know, Stephanie, that you've heard the rumor that I'm going to fire you. I did not invite you to lunch to tell you I'm going to fire you. I invited you to lunch to tell you I'm thinking about firing you." And there ensued the classic lunch where I sit frozen, knowing what's ahead. I finish the meal. I try to be personable. We make conversation. I leave being told that decisions will be made soon. And of course, within a couple of weeks, I was called and told that I was no longer going to be doing the parade, that it had nothing to do with me, that I shouldn't take it personally. And this is a phrase, that's a joke in the business, but you hear it. Don't take it personally, Stephanie. The fact that I'm firing you is irrelevant. We have great respect for what you did. And so I was gone for 3 years, and then something miraculous happened. Now, when you're in your early 60s and female, and you've been doing a gig for many, many years, and you are fired, you are not invited back. It doesn't happen. I make my peace. I'm thankful to God that I've had all those good years on the parade. I give my blessing to the gal who's going to replace me. I say to her, "Go in peace, my dear sister. I had my shot. Now you go get yours. I'm with you 100%. She does the parade for 3 years. Then suddenly I am called one morning, and I can remember it very clearly. Murray and I were making the bed. I pick up the phone. It's the producer of the Rose Parade, whose voice I figure I will never hear again. And I say, "Why are you calling me, Joe?" He said, "I've called to ask you if you'd like to come back to the parade." And I looked across the bed at Murray and said, "Murray, hell has just frozen over." It was the most amazing surprise I had ever had, certainly in my professional life. Stunned. Well, there'd been a changing of the guard in management, and they had changed their minds. And evidently, it was an interesting thing, and this was a blessing. It was kind of like hearing my eulogy without having to die. When I was absent from the parade, viewers had written or called in and said, "Bob and Stephanie are meat and potatoes. They are also part of the tradition. If you'd fired both of them, we'd understand. They're both getting on in years. We understand that things have to move. But you fired one of them, and you fired the girl. What's up with that?" They didn't like it, and they didn't like management messing with what management did not understand was part of the tradition of turning in the parade. It wasn't because of my great talent. It was because they were used to us being together there. And so after 3 years, where Michaela, God bless her, was valiant, walking into an environment where she didn't know any of the material that Bob and I have rolling around in our brains now from how many years? Many, many, many years. We've got more trivia in our heads about what that parade is than we'll ever be able to use. Poor Michaela comes up there and knows nothing about it and has to develop a rapport immediately with Bob and the audience. She was one strong cookie. I couldn't have gone through it. Well, anyway, management recognized that the audience had a stake in this. And to their credit and my amazement, they called, and Joe, in his inimitable fashion, our producer, said, "Yeah, we've decided you have got a few good miles left in you. We'd like you to come back."